What is up, Arrow fans? John of Video Games in the World here, and I'm back with another Arrow review. And this week, it's Season 3 that we are reviewing, folks. As you know, each review is to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the premiere of the Arrow TV series, which gave birth to the Arrowverse. The third season will be the beginning of the crossovers, since this one had a crossover with The Flash. When Season 3 ended, I remember looking forward to Supergirl and DC's Legends of Tomorrow. This show introduced new heroes and new villains while bringing back the ones that have been there since Seasons 1 and 2. I didn't mention that Barry Allen was introduced in Season 2 in my last review, because why spoil a surprise, right? Anyways, a lot of fans were not too fond of Season 3, while others enjoyed it despite certain flaws that turned some of the fans off. Let us begin Arrow Season 3, and as always be warned, this contains major spoilers. Okay? Here we go. Season 3 begins with such high hopes for Oliver and his teammates. Oliver and Roy protect the city as Arrow and Arsenal. Quentin has been promoted to captain and calls off the anti-vigilante task force, and because of that, crime has dropped significantly and things seem to be getting so much better. Oliver feels that he can finally have a balance between being the Arrow and himself, and has finally asked Felicity out on a date. Yay. However, Queen Consolidated is taken over by Ray Palmer and renames it Palmer Technologies, while planning to rename Starling City as Star City. Things seem to be going well, or is it really over? Oliver all of a sudden lets his guard down when the new villain arrives in town. This time, Oliver must contend with an even more dangerous enemy as well. Thea will later return, and also an enemy that Oliver and the rest of the team had not expected, nor wanted to see ever again. What will happen? This season introduces new heroes such as Ray Palmer, played by Brandon Routh. However, this is not the first time he's been involved with DC Comics, as he played the Man of Steel in Superman Returns, which is a movie I didn't like that much. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. Anyways, we see that Ray Palmer is creating a suit that gives him the ability to fly and has some weapons and radar as well. So in this season, he's kind of a Iron Man-ish in a certain way. We see what happens to Thea Queen after her ordeal in Season 2. We see that she was trained by her biological father, Malcolm Merlyn, on how to fight. And now, this season, she has a new hairstyle, and I love it. We see that she's quite a fighter and an ass-kicker, but still, she has so much to learn as well from her brother. However, things take a tragic turn when she realizes what she has done in later episodes. Even Roy himself believes that he was responsible for the tragedy that has occurred, as he feels that he's still suffering from the effects of the Mirakuru. This season also marks the origin of Felicity Smoke, before she met Oliver Queen. Felicity was a hacktivist and created a virus in which, little did she know, will come back to haunt her later on. So when the hacktivist she was with returns as a cyber terrorist to wreak havoc, it's up to her to right her wrongdoings. It was enjoyable to see her from hacktivist to this lovable, quirky computer whiz that we all know and love. But I totally dug her goth look. Laurel Lance in this season becomes witness to the tragic ordeal that has occurred. What I like about Laurel is that she starts to evolve from being this normal lawyer to training herself in body and mind to become part of the team, and she becomes the Canary. The Black Canary. I love the characters of Tatsu and Maseo. They were well written. They seem like a happy couple with their son, but because of Amanda Waller, tragedy struck which led the two into conflict. Don't you just hate the wall? This leads Tatsu becoming Katana. Originally, Devon Aoki was going to play Tatsu, but due to scheduling conflict, the role went to Japanese model and actress Rila Fukushima. Malcolm Merlyn's origin on how he became this ruthless, cold-blooded killer was explored this season as well. We all know that you're supposed to hate this guy for what he did to the Glades, but you start to feel quite empathetic towards him regarding the loss of his wife. Should Malcolm have pursued justice for his wife's killer instead of getting revenge on the entire Glades? Yes. but of course easier to seek revenge rather than justice. We learned more of his origins as a Dark Archer in the comic book Arrow, the Dark Archer, by the same actor who played him, John Barrowman. His sister Carol was a co-writer of the comic book. The crossovers were also well made. Now, what I like about Flash vs. Arrow is that the metahuman who caused people to lose control of their emotions is that the lesson in all of this is that sometimes our emotions can get the best of us if we let them run negatively. And in Brave and the Bold, sometimes you can't do things on your own. Working together can do more, much more. In my honest opinion, I think Season 3 was okay, but not as epic as Season 2 really was. The way it was ending, it almost looked like a series finale, but at least it's not. There are so many things that I loved of Season 3, as well as many things I actually hated. What I liked about Season 3 is that we saw Ra's al Ghul for the first time in this episode, the Magician, and the mid-season finale fight led to a lot of fans to think that Oliver was dead. I also enjoyed how Laura was becoming the Black Canary. At first she was kind of weak, being a rookie and all, but thankfully she's been growing tougher and was becoming more in the comics. And I won't forget the Suicide Squad either, learning about Deadshot and Cupid as well. Cupid, well, doesn't seem like that interesting in a way. My beef with the season, though, is that sometimes this felt too 90210-ish, and Felicity constantly complaining about asking Oliver, what is this all about? I mean, it got so bitchy and whiny. The flashbacks were okay, but sometimes they were terrible. Saving Thea's Soul was kind of cheesy. Diggle didn't do much as well this season. Quentin was annoying as well. Like, he supports Arrow in Season 2 and then hates him in Season 3? Come on! Dios mío. A lot of flaws this season has, but overall, I gotta say it's okay. My final score for this Season 3 is a 7 out of 10. Don't forget to comment, share, like, and subscribe and support me on Patreon. And also follow my Facebook live gaming channel, link in the description. I am John of Video Games in the World. Have a good one, and thanks for watching, everyone. Later!